Hello, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime. We are at part 4 of the Evelyn Hernandez case. As a reminder, topics may be triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is very strongly advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. On July 24th of 2002, someone walking along the Embarcadero and Folsom Street saw something floating by the shore. Horrified, they called 911. When authorities arrived, they noticed the deceased body was that of a woman wearing bump-friendly maternity clothes with tags that read motherhood. They immediately suspected it could be the missing Evelyn Hernandez. According to early reporting of the case, no cause of death had been established, but police were treating it as an obvious homicide. What is so gruesome about this case is that when her body was found, it was missing parts, as in only her torso and legs were there. Both of her arms and her head were missing, not to mention her unborn baby Fernando was missing, and her 5-year-old son Alex was missing too. To this day, and as of this recording, the rest of Evelyn's body parts, her baby and little Alex, have never been found. In September of 2003, a forensic DNA analysis concluded that the remains were in fact Evelyn Hernandez. Authorities used DNA samples from a toothbrush belonging to Evelyn they found in her apartment. They compared that DNA to that of the torso found, and it was a match. Even though Alex has never been found, police assume he is no longer with us. Evelyn's due date was May 7th of 2002. There is no way of knowing if the baby was expelled from her body due to her gruesome homicide, or if she had given birth, or if he was taken prior to her death. When Lacey Peterson's body was found under very eerily similar circumstances, as in her body was also washed ashore the San Francisco Bay, not in the same location, but her head, hands, and feet were also missing. It took authorities 4 days to positively identify her. When Evelyn's body was found, it took authorities 2 months to positively identify her, and they did not hold a press conference until 1 month after she disappeared. According to a July 29, 2002 San Francisco Chronicle article, quote, "It appears the victim had made a decision to stop seeing Herman because she felt he would not leave his wife. It caused some friction because he was paying for her apartment and wanted to be able to stay there," end quote. That same article said that SFPD homicide inspector Holly Pera mentioned that Evelyn had decided that Herman would be allowed to visit the baby, but that the romance was over. Quote, "She wanted to get on with her life. She thought she had no future with him," end quote. Pera said that it was rare for a pregnant woman to go missing, but if it did happen, the number one cause of death was murder. According to a July 29, 2002 San Francisco Chronicle article, police said that Herman had called Evelyn repeatedly on the night she vanished, and that, quote, "He initially told investigators he had not gone to her apartment looking for her. Later, he told homicide inspectors that he had driven within 2 blocks of her home that night, but decided Hernandez was purposely avoiding him and drove home." Aguilera said he had tried calling Hernandez after she disappeared and twice phoned San Francisco General, where she was scheduled to give birth, in hopes she was there, end quote. According to a July 31st, 2002 San Francisco Chronicle article, police had traced and tracked down the man identified as little Alex's father on his birth certificate. They went all the way to Puerto Rico and interviewed him, and he was cleared. On May 2nd of 2002, under the rainy clouds of San Francisco and the fog, Evelyn's friends and family gathered by the Bay Bridge and held a memorial in her honor and pleaded for the public's help and authorities' help in finding 5-year-old Alex. At her memorial, a then 32-year-old man named Gustavo Seraviotto, who identified himself as Evelyn's friend, blew smoke over flowers arranged along the bay before tossing the roses and daisies into the ocean. A friend of Evelyn's, identified as the then 44-year-old Maria Rinaldi, said, quote, "The gathering was held to remember her, to honor her, her life, to tell her how much we love her and how hard we are trying to find Alex," end quote. Evelyn's sister, Reina Solis, then 23 years old, said via a sign language interpreter, quote, "We won't stop until we find out what happened here. I want the police to keep investigating to find out who did this," end quote.